This is episode number 3, the top 10 things to look out for before buying your property. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Good to see you guys again. So in today's topic, we're going to be talking about the top 10 things that you need to look out for before buying your property. So I get asked this question all the time from my buyers, investors, friends, families. They always ask me, Shan, is this property right for me? Or should I buy in KL or Subang? Which area is better? Is this price range for this condo reasonable? Or should I buy landed or condo? So these are all very common questions asked by investors and buyers all the time. Today, I want to share with you guys the top 10 things that you need to look out for before buying your property. So let's get started. The first thing is we're going to be looking at area growth. So why area growth is so important? Because this will tell you what are the population inside this particular area that you're looking at. For example, if you have done your research, you'll understand why Mont Kiara is doing better than Ampang, or why certain areas are doing better than these areas due to the population and demographics. So when it comes to demographics, right, you really want to have the right kind of racism. So you want to know that who are the type of people staying in this particular area, what are their income, medium income, how much are they spending in a month. So you really want to have the right kind of buyers for the particular kind of demographics who is staying in that particular area. So from this you can clearly tell that why Bangsar is doing better than certain areas, why Mont Kiara is doing better than Ampang. So you really want to check what type of area population is going on there, who are the type of demographics who are staying there. The next is booster. You want to know what type of boosters are coming up in this particular area over the next few years. For example, MRT, train lines, are there LRT3 coming in, MRT2, or what sort of public amenities are coming in there, whether there's new malls being built, new schools, universities, or any eatery places. These are the kind of boosters that you want to see that is happening in that particular area. That is why certain areas of KL are really booming and outperforming certain regions. So you really need to do your research and see what is going on in that particular area. The next is price. I really cannot stress price enough, because price is one of the most crucial factors out of these 10 things to look out for. Now, price, you really need to understand what is the price of that development. Is it being overpriced? Is it fairly priced at the current rate? Or is it undervalued by the owner or developer? So you really want to dive deep into this subject, do extensive research. The more data that you have about the surrounding price and the current condo price, the more informed decision that you can make. Being an investor, being an agent, the first thing that I always look out for is what is the price per square feet. That is the number one rule. So know your prices. The next is yields. So you really want to know what are your rental yields, or your cash on cash yields, your capital gain yields, because most of the time we're going to be leveraging on the banks, okay? We're going to be using bank loans. There are different sets of calculations to use to know your yields, especially when it comes to cash on cash return. So if you don't know how to calculate, you can just simply Google it, YouTube. There are a lot of tutorials on this, or I'll probably make one up in the next. Know your yields, know your numbers, know how much you're going to be making from this investment. For the fifth one, we're going to be looking at what are the unique selling points or moats. Now, a moat is simply defined as a competitive advantage. So you really want to ask yourself, what's so unique about this development? What is special about this condo right here? Does it have a sky pool, okay? Or is this the only development in this particular area that has this feature? So you want to look at what is the strategic advantage of this development over the other buildings around it, because that will position yourself of having more value in the given area. So find out what is the unique selling point, what are the competitive advantages that this building has over the others. Next is cash outlay. How much cash do you need to prepare for down payment, for legal fees, for furnishing, for paying your progressive payments, throughout the years, okay, of under construction. So know how much of cash do you need in hand to prepare all this. This is very crucial, because as an investor, you really want to take care of your cash flow. That's very important, so that you know that how much you need to prepare by this stage, okay? If you're paying by cash, how much is needed by this stage 2A, 2B, okay, and so on. So knowing your cash flow is really very important. That is why you can see all around that there are some investors with only 1 or 2, but they are really struggling. But there are some with 3 to 4 and above, but they are still doing well, because they know how much of cash is needed. Next is new and old. New and old developments, you really want to look at the numbers. What are the prices of the new buildings compared to the older ones surrounding it? Is it really cheaper, or is it more expensive? A very high premium that you're going to be paying for the new development. So do your research, check what are the numbers for the new and old. Is it really worth it to be paying this much for the new condo, or is it better just to go for a sub-sale condo in the surrounding area? So do your research, check out the new versus old. Know that there are some new condos which are selling at very low premium compared to the surrounding condos. There are bargains such as this, but you really have to do your research and look at 100 properties. As you do more research, you'll come to find out that there are really those hidden gems in the rough. Number 8, the area zone or tier. Now in every particular region, for example, KLCC, Ampang, Subang, Damansara, there is a zone or tier for that particular area. Now what this means is, certain areas which fit certain criteria falls into zone 1, or some call it tier 1, zone 2 or tier 2, or zone 3. Now each zone has a certain characteristics, and there is a certain price point or ceiling point for those zones. So you really want to understand the certain areas which shows characteristics of zone 1, zone 2 or zone 3, because all three has a different price point. People are willing to pay a certain rental price for different zones. So you really have to understand that the zone and what are their prices and ceiling prices. So ceiling prices means there is an invisible cap of how much the price should go. It will not move beyond that certain points. For example, back in 2012 up till 2014, okay, the property boom was taking place, the property bull run. So you can see that many investors who bought condo or any property back at 2012 to 2014, they were priced at zone 1 price. That means way above what the current market price was selling. Okay, they paid extra by maybe 200 to 300 per square feet. So that's why it's so important to know that what zone does this development fall under, and how much are the prices, you know, for zone 1, zone 2 and zone 3. At number 9, know your risk. What are your game plays involved for this particular development? Or what are your strategies involved? Currently, are you going to be taking a 90% loan? Or are you going to be creating a company? Are you going to be having a partners, okay, in this particular deal? Know what are your risks involved, okay? How much is at risk, okay? For example, if you're putting 100k, 200k down payment. So know your risk involved. So this will protect you in case of anything that goes wrong later on. Okay? And the last but not least, at number 10, what are your exit strategies? Now this is so crucial. Many people come into the deal. Most of the time when I meet my clients as well, they do not have an exit strategy in place. For example, do they want to sell this off in the next 2 to 5 years? Are they planning to flip this, okay, upon getting the keys? So what are your exit strategies? Exit strategies are so important. For example, if you can't sell it off, if you can't sell off the property within the next 1 to 2 years, what are your plans? How are you going to counter that? If you cannot rent your property for the next 2 to 3 months, how are you going to recoup your losses? So have an exit strategy, have a plan A, plan B, plan C. The more contingency plans that you have, the better that you safeguard yourself and your assets. So there you go guys. Those are the top 10 things that you need to look out for before you buy your property. In our next session, we're going to be looking at the myths of freehold versus leasehold. Is freehold really better than leasehold? So stay tuned guys, and make sure you subscribe and like our channel to stay updated with our latest news.